If you want to know the absolute tomfoolery that's happening in this pet room, I tried filming a video. I've got boxes everywhere. Jackson kept knocking the camera down. There's shadows all over the room, as you can see right here, because I'm losing daylight. And I got mad, slammed a door, and it didn't even really slam it. I barely shut it. But it knocked the picture off the wall, which hit my painting, which hit my Christmas decorations, which fell on the floor. It's been a disaster. But I'm still here to film because I want to. I need to film. So if you notice that the background is a little and also this is a different like position that I've been sitting in. I usually sit against those two bookshelves, but this is my old one before I had the new gecko bookshelf, so it's kind of like a throwback. Today I wanted to talk about stunted growth in leopard geckos. As you can see by the title, I have 4 leopard geckos, actually 3 leopard geckos and 1 African fattail that have stunted growth, and they all have stunted growth for different reasons. So I thought it'd be interesting and good to talk about how it occurs and how you should treat geckos with stunted growth, etc. I want to start off by saying that geckos with stunted growth are basically the exact same as any other leopard gecko, except they're smaller. Or any gecko. I say leopard gecko because I have so many of them, but any gecko that has stunted growth is just smaller than other geckos. Stunted growth can come from not enough nutrition when the gecko is growing, so they don't like eat enough and get enough sustenance and supplements to grow to their full potential. So sometimes when incubating, a gecko may have some developmental stuntedness inside of the egg, or it may also hatch out too early, and that can cause stunted growth. Another form of stunted growth can come from a malnourished mother. So if a malnourished mother lays an egg and the egg is viable, it may produce a smaller gecko because the gecko would also be malnourished. You can also get stunted growth from bad genetics. You can also get stunted growth from birth defects or spinal deformities, and there are a ton of other reasons too, but those are the ones that I've come across. Now, I personally have experience with geckos who have stunted growth due to spinal deformities, due to not being fed enough when they were younger, but those are the only 2. I have not experienced the others. Asha's my African fattail, and she has stunted growth because she has a spinal deformity. When I got her, her former owner told me that she made sure a breeder did not cull her. Cull would be kill, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know. Typically, if a gecko seems unviable or like it won't thrive in life, a breeder may cull it, which is humane or considered humane. But because Asha was eating, the individual who I got her from told the breeder that she did not want Asha to die and that she would take her. So she took care of Asha, who has a lovely cute little humpback, and she in general has a very stunted body. Her head is small, her legs are small, her whole body is small. Everything about her is small. She literally is like this big in my hand, and I'll show, of course, photos and videos of all the geckos that I mentioned. Around the same time that I got Asha, I got a gecko called Marjorie. Marjorie has a neurological disorder. She also has a little tiny bit of underdeveloped eyelids because they do not close in the corners. Marjorie was born like from a breeder and then sold to another breeder for the purpose of breeding, but that breeder discovered that Marjorie had a neurological disorder, and that breeder then rehomed her to me. Between the time that Marjorie was born and the time she was given to the first breeder, many months passed, and it took Marjorie all that time to get to the point of shipping weight, which is 15 grams. Now, for anyone wondering, I'm gonna try not to get upset because Marjorie, Mira, and Roz are all situations where they should be full-grown geckos, but we're not fed enough, so I get a little testy. But it's a learning experience for anyone out there. So what's interesting is that Mira has a neurological disorder, which means that she probably needed some assisted feeding, and that's why she did not grow so fast. So I don't know if it was just like a lack of effort on the breeder's part, or if it was just complete ignorance or a lack of interest, or I don't know what it was, but Marjorie did not grow fast at all. And then when she was given to the other breeder as like a breeder animal, she didn't grow super fast with her. She grew a few grams, but she was only with her for a short period of time, and then she was rehomed to me. Now, when I got Marjorie, she of course was being fed normally and hand-fed, and has since grown. Because of the many months of her not receiving the proper diet or not receiving the right amount of food, she is stunted. So she's a smaller gecko. She has smaller head, smaller body, smaller legs, smaller tail. She's cute, but she's stunted, and forever always will be. In fact, Marjorie was almost a year old when I finally got a hold of her. So after Marjorie, and sometime after Marjorie, I might add, I got Mira a year later. I got Mira, and Mira is a leopard gecko. That situation makes me very angry. If you want to learn more about Mira in particular, I have a video on my channel welcoming her home. Mira is a leopard gecko who has some eyelid issues. She has, I have a Syrian. She has underdeveloped eyelids, and due to not growing fast enough, I assume, because I have other experience with geckos with eyelid issues, her eyes tried to make up for it, so she basically had skin grow over her eyes in some portions. And while that stinks and it causes her impaired vision, otherwise she's fine. Now, Mira is a very frustrating case for me because she hatched out in August of 2017. I have other geckos who hatched out in August of 2017, including Tormund. Well, Tormund and Liana hatched a couple months before August, and so did Jojen, but they're all around the same time. So Liana and Tormund hatched in early May and late May, and also Jojen hatched in July, or June I think, and then I got him later in July. So those geckos are pretty representative of what a gecko at this point in their life should look like. And Mira should look just like them, and I'll put a picture up to compare all of them. So last August when she was born, I agreed to take her due to her eyes, and I had experience with geckos who had some eye issues because of Tormund and Marjorie. So I agreed to take her, and I did not know that the breeder would just either neglect to feed her or not feed her enough because the breeder is ignorant. I'm not sure where that came from, but I waited months and months and months for Mira to grow, and she would grow nothing. I mean, she would grow maybe a gram every few weeks or every month, and I thought, okay, it could be her genetics. It could be her genetics, because her sister was also not growing, and her sister is now with a friend of mine, but also to this day still not full grown. They both have stunted growth. So I thought it could be her genetics, but there is an interesting thing I have found out since getting Roz, who is my most recent leopard gecko, who's also very small. But the thing that I found out is that Roz was actually born around the same time as Mira. In fact, I actually have Roz's birthday written down. Where is it? Roz's birthday was August 18th, 2017, which is literally the exact same month that Mira was born. So you'd expect Roz to be full grown as well, correct? She's not. The reason Roz isn't full grown is not because of the breeder who bred her parents and then hatched her out. It's because of the fault of the same person that I got Mira from. And this is, if that person watches this is no tea, no shade. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but you do have to do better. Because I thought that it would just be maybe Mira's genetics that she didn't grow. But Roz is a perfect example. Roz came from a big name breeder to this breeder. I will not name either of them. And when I was looking at the video last night of the person unboxing Roz, who had a different name at the time, Roz looked like the exact same size, if not bigger, than Roz looks right now. Roz is tiny. She's very small. She's not only a bit underweight, she's also just very small in her stature. And I realized that this person who also had Mira, and I got Roz from, had just neglected to feed Roz properly when she was growing as well. So I'm going to put a picture up of Roz, Mira, Jojen, Tormund, and Liana for you to see a bit of the difference between their sizes. That breeder had Roz from November, the date, November 22nd, so literally this month last year. So that person had Roz for almost a whole year, and her growth was non-existent. I was kind of hesitant in Mira's video to say whether or not she had stunted growth due to her incubation fluctuation, which caused her eye issue. So I was very hesitant because I thought in my mind that it was an issue of not growing, because a baby gecko has the ability to grow if you feed it. So I thought, okay, maybe she just has it because of, you know, her egg issues. But I have proof now that is not the case. And so Roz, Mira, and Marjorie all have stunted growth for absolutely no reason. They just were not fed enough, and in Marjorie's case it was because she has a neurological disorder, and in Mira and Roz's case it's because of ignorance or laziness. I don't know which. It's really unfortunate. I hope that that wasn't the case. Like, I hope that it wasn't out of just sheer not wanting to do it, and rather just ignorance, maybe. Now, there is a difference between a gecko being underweight and a gecko having stunted growth. So an underweight gecko will not have a full tail. It will still have a regular sized body and head, but will be very small because it's underweight. Whereas a gecko with stunted growth will have a thick tail or body and will still have a tiny head, tiny legs, and tiny tail and tiny body compared to a regular leopard gecko or a standard size leopard gecko. The good news about a gecko with stunted growth is that they are no different than any other leopard gecko. They just are smaller. You can still feed them as you would feed another leopard gecko. I give my bigger leopard geckos bigger superworms, and I give my smaller leopard geckos smaller superworms. So you just have to like change their meal accordingly, because you don't want them to get overweight or anything like that, because it would make it harder on them to move and really enjoy themselves and be healthy. So of course you want to keep that in mind. But aside from that, they're really just like another leopard gecko. They will still have the same behaviors as leopard geckos, and they will still be super cute like other leopard geckos, and you don't have to worry about them health-wise most of the time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this informational and insightful, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, and also I ask that you subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm actually not sure which side they're on, but they're somewhere down there, and I would really love if you joined us over here, so please subscribe. Also leave a comment down below, and I will definitely get back to you, because I love responding to people in the comments. Also check the links below for all kinds of social media, where you can also see all the geckos I mentioned in this video, as well as many more. That's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!